So I have a Google Drive dilemma that I'm hoping some folks out there can help me with. Over the summer, when Google updated Google Drive to the new interface, some of the workflow that I had for our iPad users seemed to have gotten broken. So on the iPad, with the apps, there's limited things that you can do in terms of editing a document. In particular, the problem that I have is that you can't insert images from the app interface. So in the past, what I've had students do, or teachers, is to go into the Safari browser and then turn on the desktop version of it to do any kind of editing. So what you'll see here is that I've got Google Drive set up, and this is the old interface of Google Drive on the web on a computer. And then on a mobile device like an iPad, if I go to the Google Drive and switch over to desktop view and then continue to desktop version, I'll be able to go in and do some basic edits that I can't do in the apps. So I'll just open up a new document here just to demonstrate really quickly. I'll go ahead and switch over to desktop mode, and then I'll go in and I'll do something like insert an image. So that's the basic idea of switching over to the desktop version in Google Drive on the iPad. And on the whole, it's worked okay. The interaction on here of having to type and things is not perfect. For instance, it's a little trickier to add text, and you have to move things around because the keyboard takes up so much space. But I want to show you what happens now if I switch over to the new Google Drive interface. So if I go into the settings and experience the new Google Drive, now I'm going to run into the problem. If I go back to Google Drive, one problem in particular is that getting back to the Google Drive menu from the web interface is a little tricky. It wants you to download the apps. There is a link here to go to googledrive.com, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And now I'm going to kind of get this color wheel of death, and it will just sit there and cycle, not do anything. So as soon as I go into the new Google Drive interface, I just get this whenever I go to Google Drive. What I kind of have found as a solution is that I can go in and force Google Drive to go to Google Drive mobile version by typing it in. So if I do drive.google.com and then /m, it will take me into this mobile view. I can't go and do the desktop because then I just get back into the color wheel of death. I can go and open up this document now this way, and then I can switch over to the desktop version just like I did before, but it's really slow kind of loading. So it'll take a little while. One thing that I notice now is that I have a real hard time typing. So even though I've moved it up and I'm typing something, I can't see it. If I put the typing bar up, see now it will, I have to have it already sort of in the right place, but if I've moved it around, for instance, if I go down here and then move this up, you'll notice that now you can't see the typing. I'm not quite sure why that is, so then I have to close the keyboard, and then I can type like this and I can't see it, but it's there. So if I move this up out of the way and then bring up the keyboard, as you can see, this just isn't working very well. It does allow me to go in and do the insert image, so I can still do this, but this is a really complicated workflow. So at this point, what I'm imagining is that students would have to use the apps the majority of the time for adding text. So they might use the apps for adding text. Then they would switch over. They'd have to make a shortcut to the mobile Google Drive interface. Open up the document. Go into desktop mode. And use that in order to try to do something like inserting an image or doing a hyperlink or some of the other formatting that they might need to do. But they definitely can't type easily inside this version anymore if they accidentally end up in a different area of the screen. So I can type right now, and that's fine. But as soon as I end up doing something like that, now the typing doesn't work again. So I'm not real happy with this workflow, and I don't know if anybody's come up with any solutions, but I'd love to have your help. Thanks.